I'm Dee with Modesty Matters. We're a business dedicated to providing products for modest-minded families. Today I'm going to show you how to make our classic mop cap. And this is how you're going to put it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's numbered. And the reason we have our little matasu all over the place is so that we can look and see through to line up our pattern pieces. And then we'll simply tape it in place. You might want to tape both the front and the back. It's a little bit of work up front, but this pattern is going to last you so much longer than any tissue pattern would ever last you. Now that we've put our pattern pieces together, we're going to go back and we're going to cut out our pattern all the way around this solid line, just like this. We are going to take our pattern and we are going to place it on the fold of our material. Here's our material going the long way. On this side is our opening, and I want to show you, this is called the selvage right here. So here I have it on the fold, and I'm going to pin it in place all the way around, and then I'm going to cut around this, but I'm not going to cut this line right here. And because we did not cut on the fold, we can open that up and it's a perfect circle. The next thing you're going to do is take out either a pencil or chalk. And for example, with this muslin material, you can simply slip the pattern piece right underneath here. And you're able to see the dotted line that is drawn all the way around. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to just lightly draw right along where this dotted line is so that I'll know where to place the elastic later. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. There we go. All right, now that we have put our markings all the way around our mop cap, we're going to take this to the machine, and what we're going to do is zigzag all the way around this raw edge. As I'm going to lower this presser foot, I'm going to come over here to the end, to this knob, and I'm going to put down my needle. And that's all you need to do to start your sewing. I'm going to begin sewing. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to go in reverse just for the first couple stitches. And what that does is that locks that stitch in place so you have a nice secure beginning and ending. I'm just simply going all the way around in order to keep the edges from fraying. Now let me show you, this is the proper hand posture you're going to want to use as you're sewing. With one hand here to the side guiding the fabric, and another hand right here just steadying everything. If ever you feel like you're not in control, just simply stop and slow down. You don't have to sew this fast. Alright, I come to the end and I stop and I reverse and I start again, and that locks that seam in place. Okay, what I have done here is I've zigzag stitched all the way around that raw edge. We've secured that in place so that's not going to fray. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bend this over 1/4 of an inch. I have a little ruler here. 1/4 of an inch, and we're going to pin it in place. Now we're going to come back and we're going to straight stitch right down the center of this fold all the way around. Alright, I want to show you that I'm again in the needle down position with my presser foot down. Now anytime I'm working with pins, I always take them out as I sew. You don't want to sew over pins because they're going to break your needle. I start, I reverse, have a nice secure start and finish. Now I'm going to go all the way around, stopping to pull out pins. Okay, here I am at the end. I stop, I reverse, go forward again, and I've locked that stitch in place. Raise the needle, clip my threads. Now we have zigzagged and we have turned our edge under and straight stitch. You don't need to measure this time because we are just going to turn it right over, right along this curve. We're going to go back and we're going to straight stitch around that one more time. So we're going to have a nice finished edge. I'm again starting in the needle down position with my presser foot down, and I'm going to once again start that stitch, reverse it, and start again, stopping to take pins out. Okay, I come to the end, I reverse, and I go straight again. And I clip my threads. Okay, I've gone back now, and I've ironed all the way around this, which makes it lay nicely, and it also sets the seam. This is our 3/8 inch wide elastic. You're going to take out just enough to go around your head snugly, and we will also overlap it just a little bit. So keep that in mind as you measure the circumference of your head, that you're going to want to overlap it by just a little bit. We're going to take our piece now. We're going to lay it down right over the markings we made earlier, and we're going to pin that in place. Now the next thing we're going to do is pull it all the way around like this and overlap it. And pin it in place again. Now we're going to go right in the middle of our elastic piece, and we're going to pull it all the way over here, and we're going to pin it to our line over here. This way we know that we've got halfway through the elastic. We're going to have an even gather all the way around the head. Again, halfway and halfway the elastic. And we're going to pull it over here to that line, and we're going to pin it in place. And then on the other side. Halfway and halfway of our elastic, right there. Now we're going to take this to the sewing machine, and we are going to zigzag stitch right over the top of that elastic. Now I want to point out that a stretch needle will be very helpful for you to use as you sew over this elastic. A universal needle will work, but a stretch needle will give you a much prettier result. Okay, I'm starting in the needle down position, and we're going to zigzag straight, and we stop, and we're going to go back, and honestly I'm going to go over that just a couple times because that's right, the ending and the beginning of our piece. We're going right along those pencil markings that we put on earlier, and I pull the back of the elastic and I pull the front of the elastic. And here we are, we've come all the way around to the end. I'm going to go forward, backwards to secure that in place a couple of times. And we are all done with our elastic. Please join us at modestymatters.net for other great downloads.